Hi, welcome to Follow Our Wanderlust. Today you'll find us behind the General Patton Museum along the I-10. If you're a history buff, you may enjoy this museum, and if you just want to dry camp for free, you can stop here too. It's right on top of the summit right here in California. It's a good place to be. The family has had this for many years, and it has a great little coffee shop, and like I said, the museum's there, so you can go inside for $6, or you can wander around these tanks that are sitting around just about everywhere. We're going to be going from here and hitching up, heading towards California, and we're just going to show you how we do that. We love to bring our Jeep, and we love to tow it because we love to just do a lot of exploring and stay in one place without having to move the RV all the time. So let me show you how we do it. Thank you for watching.
Okay, so you put it in what?
Neutral.
Okay.
Take the transfer case out of two-wheel drive to neutral.
Okay.
So two-wheel high goes into four-wheel high next.
And you get your foot on the brake?
Then neutral. Yeah, that allows me to work this.
Okay.
Okay, so at this point, transfer case is a neutral, this is a neutral. We go ahead and start it and see how well we've done. All we have to do is put it in reverse. And we're there.
Okay.
So put it back there.
Because we're not moving.
Right. So then you turn the key back off.
Okay.
But before I do that, I'm going to roll up all the windows real quick here. And you go ahead and turn this off, is what I do. But leave it on the run position. Put it back. Automatic transmissions are always in park. Transfer case is in neutral.
Okay.
And this is the sequence that you use so that you don't lash the gears. You know, you'll hear them grinding if you don't do it in this sequence. But this is how you tow. Park, neutral for an automatic. And the great thing about Jeeps is there's no locking steering wheel. So you don't have to worry about it. Leaving a key in it. So I'm going to go outside and hook up the rest of the toolbar stuff and then come back in and do the brake. So what I've done first before I put the transfer case in neutral and get the Jeep set up for that is I hitch up the tow bar and I put the safety pin in, and that kind of works like a parking brake. It's not going to go anywhere once you have it here. The next thing I do is these are the cables that you set up off the tow bar hookup to hook the safety cables to.
Okay.
And they just go, there's a couple of tabs right here, right on the bottom of this. So you just slip these through.
You tighten them.
And yeah, I just hand tighten these. They don't ever come loose, or just like that. And then we get the one over here. There's that one. And then we'll pull out the two safety cables. There's one. And here's the other. So there's some more of these on this side. So I hook one here. And this isn't like a normal trailer setup. So on a trailer, you know, you cross the chains, but this is 4-down towing, and you cross the chains to hold everything up, you know, so the trailer doesn't hit the ground. But this is 4-up towing, so, I mean, excuse me, 4-down towing, and so you don't need to do that. But what I do is I bring it up under here, and I take it up over the top of this, and the reason for that is if I ran it across the bottom, these may be too long and they would drag the ground and wear them out, so we don't want to do that. And that's good there. The next thing I hook up is the charge line. And on this particular setup, it runs your brake lights and your stop lights and your running lights when it's dark. But this one also has a charge line in it, so that when you're going down the road, because we use an auxiliary braking system on the Jeep to help out the Sprinter, we go ahead and charge the battery so you don't run your battery down as you're going down the road when you're using the brake.
Hold on, and where did that go? Let's see.
There we go, got it. And then the same thing with this one is I take it over the top, just because I don't want it to drag on the ground so much. Oops, it's got a little twist in it here. There we go. Okay, that's secure. And then the last thing I put on is this small cord. It just runs underneath here. It doesn't have to go over because it's short enough. And this right here is a breakaway, meaning that in the event that you come off the hitch, then it'll pull this out and it'll apply the brake on the Jeep. Okay, we're going to go ahead and set the brake up. I'll do this thing in a second here. Down underneath the floor mat here, there's a little plug-in that you just lay down there. And that actually plugs in right here on the end of this braking unit. And that's for that breakaway that I talked about earlier. And this is what communicates to this to work for it. And then there's a set of jaws right here that are spring loaded, and they just go up on your brake pedal. So you just set it up on your brake pedal, and then in a Jeep, in the floorboard, there's like a pillar that runs across here, and so this can just rest up against it. If you were in a car that was flat all the way through, they actually sell these with a little metal bar that you'd bolt down to the floor, so this has something to push against. So the next thing I generally hook up is the antenna, because we have a wireless unit inside the motorhome. And
Things get a little twisted up.
yeah, I guess some things are wireless and others aren't, you know. There we go. And so I always just put it up here, and I just wrap it around once so it doesn't fall off or really go anywhere. So it just hangs down about like that. Just hook that back up. And then this is just like coax. So it just screws onto the fitting right here. And that part of the antenna is done. Okay, so now to power the unit, it's a cigarette lighter. But ours stays on in here. When you have the key off, the regular cigarette lighter or the 12-volt one that's up on the dash here, the key has to be on. So I bought a little extension here, and there's one that's continuous, like if you have your phone or laptop plugged in or something like that. And it's in here. So I just plug it in, and this just glows blue for us. And here, let me put this in right up here for right now. Go down there. There we go. And then I just bring it down here and I plug us in. Okay, and the lights are blinking on this. So what you have to do in order to get the excess air out of the vacuum brakes, you have to cycle this 3 times. And that's a vacuum system. It does have a setup for an active system, it's called, but in our case it's vacuum. We have ours set for medium and 10 psi for a small SUV, and it seems to work perfect. So I'll push it, and it'll cycle back on its own. Push it again, twice, push it one more time. And usually I push it one more time to see it really activate all the way. Even though this test is done, it'll push out farther generally. See? And it pushed out farther, which is fine. And you hear the little compressor in it come on, and it does that automatically. So this is basically set. So we're going to walk around to the cab, and we're going to plug in the wireless unit into the cigarette lighter so these two things can communicate to each other. And what you do is, the next last steps that we do is we'll wag the Jeep to lock the bar, because the bar is adjustable, so it'll lock it in place. And then inside is the wireless, and so when we go down the road, we can test the brakes. There's a button on it where we can test it at 20 miles an hour to make sure everything's working properly. So we'll go ahead and do that next. Okay, here's the wireless remote for it. It just plugs in down here into the 12-volt outlet, and it'll turn itself on, and it's ready to go. It's that quick. They're already linked up and communicating. So the next thing is Anya and I will test the lights. We'll wag, so to speak, the Jeep, and then as we drive off, we'll test the brake, and then we're down the road. It's that easy.
Alright, now we're ready to wag and watch the steering wheel. And it's supposed to pop out both of these. You hear the clicks, so that worked. And now we're going to watch the steering wheel. Make sure nothing is locked up. And it's turning, as you can see. Turning the ways. Alrighty. Okay. Alright. We got the camera on in the back here so we can keep an eye on the Jeep. Watch the wires and everything.
We can do a brake test here. Nobody's behind us, so we'll just do it on the on-ramp. Okay, I'll get up to 20 miles an hour. Okay, go ahead. Okay, it works. Perfect. Away we go, down the road. Well, thanks.
And please subscribe if you can.
Bye.